In this video, you are going to learn the 20 idioms and their meanings with their history from where they belong. Today, my third lecture on the idioms was its third lecture of the English grammar, okay, of this channel. Now, you should know what are idioms. Idioms doesn't consist of their actual meaning, okay, they doesn't have the actual meaning. Now we are writing I am writing a few of idioms that must and they should be some of them should be came in the examination, okay. So starting from the first was that there was a was beat about the brush, okay, bush, beat about the bush, okay. Now look at it. It means that not coming towards the point, not coming towards the point, not coming towards the point, the point, okay. So not coming towards the point, it means that it consists of a beautiful history. In this idiom beat about the bush, its history was that when the people in the old ages went from one city to another in a whole crowd, then they hire a man and he have a brush in his hand, okay, beating about the bush, that beat the bushes that are coming in the way, and if there was any parasite or any danger, he was attacked by that parasite and danger he faced first, okay. So that the pupil and the crowd was saved and they ran away. So this is the history of the beating about the brush. The next one, and after that there came that not coming toward the point, okay, then the danger was not coming toward the pupil and it was only toward that, but its real meaning was his history was different from the meaning that not coming toward the point. After that, second idiom was spilling the beans. Spill the beans. It means that you are revealing the secret, okay. Spill the beans, reveal the secret. In the old ages, there are people of a city that city was very rich, okay. So the beans are their favorite feed, and when they eat them and they threw all of them, so the law was came that if anyone will spill the beans, he will be punished, and one who will tell it, who will reveal the secret that who had spilled the beans, he will be rewarded, okay. So this was the history of the spill the beans. So it means reveal the secret, reveals the secret. I am telling this history to you so that you should have reminded them, okay. The third one was that Eckler's heels. Eckler's heel was a beautiful topic, a beautiful idiom. It was that it has a beautiful history. It means weak point. But what is the history? You will, when heard it, you will be uh, quite happy that you should know these idioms by knowing the history. That Eckler's Hill, when there was the old ages, people think that the gods and the semi gods are in the world, okay. So there was a Eckler who was a semi god, okay. So he became how a god when he was half a human half a god, okay. So he should die because he was half a human. When her mother that knows her, she dipped her she threw her three sons in the fire, but fourth one she dipped her in the river Styx. There was a river Styx in their country, and her mother dipped her in the Ecklers into river strips. When he was dipping her, then her hand was on heels, okay. Her hand was on her heels, so her heels were not wet by the river strikes button, and when she threw her in the fire, he became a god. But her heels are the weak points because they are still of human, and the body of Eckler was became a god. So he has a weak point. When in the war, her only the rival news that there was her rival that knew that he had a Eckler's heel, because he knew the history of the Eckler, that her heel was not dipped in the water. So they as he was winning the war, Eckler was winning the war, so he was hit a arrow in her heel, his heel. Okay, so he was died because of the utmost bleeding from the heels, and so that is the weak point, and this is the history of this. Okay, so break the ice. It means to ease the tense situation. Break the ice to ease the tense situation. Okay, it also has a history that to break the ice was too difficult. Okay, so when people hire the men's and to break the ice, it was too difficult. Okay, but when the ice was breaked, then they take it off, and they said that to ease the tense situation, that breaking the ice, and they will take the ice cubes. So the tenth situation of big ice block was is to make a small blocks. Okay, so to ease the tenth situation, it means situation. After that, the fifth point was burning the midnight oil. Burn the midnight oil. It was also having a simple history that midnight oil. In the old ages, the whale oil was used for burning in the night, because there was no torches invented at that time. Okay, so when anyone do extremely hard work, extreme hard work at night, extremely hard work at night. Hard work at night, ठीक है, do extremely hard work at night, so he should have to burn the whale oil, and that was too expensive, so people say that he was burning the midnight oil, and from there the idiom was derived. After that, there was a seventh idiom, that sixth idiom, sorry, that feather in one caps. These idioms always came in the examination of federal exams and English literature exams for higher classes. Okay, in one's cap. So feather in one's cap has a beautiful history. It was very interesting history. That one's achievement was called one's achievement. It was one's achievement, notable achievement, achievement. It has a history that when anyone achieves something great, he should have to put a feather in his cap to show his that he was great. The more the feather in the cap, the greater the man was. So that was and there was a rule that you should have done something notable, and after that you can put a feather in your cap. Okay, so this is achievement. Identify the achievement. So one's achievement. After the rule of thumb, eighth. Eight was the rule of thumb. It was a very not interesting history that this was have a very bad history. So I cannot say that. In this was there was a rule. There was a country in the old ages that have the rule, so that they can beat their wives. So after that, when this beatings was going very at a very high level to beat the wives, then they say that you can only you can beat with only a stick that or that was of your thumb size. Okay, size of a thumb. The stick size should not be greater than the thumb. So this is a practical way of measuring something, and from there the rule of thumb was derived. Practical way of measuring something. Practical way of measuring something. Okay, after that, another, let the cat out of the bag. It has an interesting history, that let the cat out of bag. I am telling these history stories so that you should remember these idioms very carefully. I will now again after that I will send inshallah I will send a video in Urdu so that you the Urdu speakers will also understand this story, then remember um, these idioms carefully, and so they could not forget these idioms. So when the cigarette reveals earlier than expected, let the cat out of the bag. It means when the cigarette reveals earlier, when the cigarette reveals earlier than time. Cigarette reveals earlier than time. Reveals earlier than time. Okay. Also in the America it was happening that the people sell the pigs, so they put it in bag, and when someone select that bag, he went to home and he when opened the bag, the cat came out. But in some situation that when they were hanging those bag in the shop, and when a customer want to buy that bag of pig, then eventually the cat tore the bag and cat came out, and the secret of that shopkeeper reveals earlier than time that the secret should reveal in the home he was thinking, but secret reveal in his shop, and then he was beaten by the pupils. Okay, so this was an interesting hitting of the history of the idea. And after that we are going to 10th idiom was our cry our spilt milk. Cry our spilled milk. It was having an interesting but a simple history. That cry over spilled milk. That heaven spilt milk. That when you cry over your spilt milk, that it was of no. It has a meaning in its line. Okay, that cry over spilled milk. It was a beautiful idiom. Okay, so look at it. Cry over spilled milk. Crying over crying over unrecoverable loss, unrecoverable lost. Okay, so when you are crying over unrecoverable loss, it is crying over a spilled milk, that you cannot take that spilled milk in the your bucket or anything, you cannot take over that lost. Okay, so it was a simple history that when you have spilled the milk, you cannot recover it, so it is crying over unrecoverable lost. After that, black sheep. 11th stands for black sheep. That was an idiom for use for a one who undermines the group, that it was also having a simple history that when there was a big herd of sheep, white sheep, so there was only one sheep in that whole group of those sheep, white sheep, so he was called the black sheep, that who undermines the group, who was destroying the beauty of the group, who was just also damaging the group. Okay, undermines the group, one undermines the group, that he was defying the people of his group. Okay, he was harming his own group. After that, 12th idiom was once in a blue moon. It was also having a simple history and an interesting one, that when atomic bomb or volcano explode in an area, once in a blue moon, when that happened only one time in this whole earth, and this was reality. Okay, once in a blue moon happens. Okay, there was a blue moon in the world, only seen for one time, that when volcano was explode in an area, there people saw a blue moon, because there was too much destruction, and the volcano was explode in the ocean, and it damages the whole area, and that was a very big tsunami also. So that night the moon became blue, so people called it the once in a blue moon, the thing that occur very rarely. It means very rarely. Okay, you can relate the idioms with their history, so you can, when you have remember the history, you can easily make a idiom's meaning very early, very rarely. very rarely. That thing happen very rarely. Okay, the things that happen very rarely, things occurs very rarely. Okay, it has a meaning. Oh, now after that, in a nutshell, in the old ages, when there was no book in the written form, okay, so the people write it by hand, and there was one writer who had written a book. Only he was writing in a very small writing, that the customer said that you are going to put this book in a nutshell, that it was very small writing, and you are using very less pages for it, that you can easily put it in the nutshell after reading the full story of a whole book. Okay, so that after that the idiom was derived, that in a nutshell, to describe very briefly, or to put something in a small to uh, easily describe very briefly. Okay, very briefly describe very briefly briefly putting a big thing into smaller one. Okay, after that, bury the hatchet. It was a story of native Americans, that the native of Americans, there was two tribes that was in the old enmity. But when the tribal leaders came together, they sit and have a meeting that they should now end this enmity, and sit with them, and live with peace. Okay, so they all the soldiers from the both the tribes dig a hole, and dig a big hole in the earth, and they put their weapons in it, and after that they also threw the hatchets there, from which they have dig the hole. Okay, so that they have ended the enmity, so this means to end the enmity, and after that they are living with the peace. So this is a simple history, and to end the enmity, becoming in peace. Okay, so it means bury the hatchet. Now kick the bucket. 15th idiom was kick the bucket. Kick the bucket means to die. It means to die. When in the America, when the pigs were killed, they was hanged by a rod, this shape, the with the roof. There was a rod with the roof like in this shape, and when the pig was hanged with this, okay, hang, and here was a pig, and when he was slaughtered, when he was killed by the pupils, he make his leg to hit these points of the rod that was hanging with the roof. Okay, so this means to die. When he was kicking, this point was called bucket. Okay, this point was called bucket. This point was called bucket. And when he hit the pig, this being hit the after dying, this was called the kicking the bucket, that to die off, okay, this means to die off. So you should have known some you should have to know some history of the idioms, so you can easily run them. After that, caught red-handed. Caught red-handed has also a simple history, that when anyone was doing some act, caught doing some act, when a murdered in a room, and her hands were red with the blood, so he cannot deny that at the spot that he had not killed. So he was caught doing the act, caught doing the act. So now after that, bite the bullet. It also have a interesting history. Biting the bullet. Bite the bullet. Okay, bite the bullet. it has an interesting history that in the old ages there was not any surgical instrument, and when in the war, when anyone was injured, he and you should have and the doctor think that he should have to cut his leg or any area, or he should have to do the surgery. So he put a bullet in his mouth instead of a leather or a wooden stick. He put a bullet in his mouth so that he could not bit his tongue due to the pain, because there was no anesthesia at that time. Okay, so biting the bullet, that to facing a hardship, facing a hardship or clear pain, facing a hardship or pain extreme pain or difficult situation. Okay, after that, crocodile tail, it was also having an interesting history that when crocodile cat a prey, uh, crocodile when came out of the river and he caught his prey, he was crying, he has tear in his eyes, so it shows sympathy for the prey that he was eating. He was going to eat that animal, and he was also feeling sympathy for that animal, because he was going to eat it, but it was his if he doesn't eat that one he will die, so he ate it. So it was called to show false emotion, because he was eating and he was also showing sympathy for it. But after our research, it was proved that he was only crying, crocodile was only crying to wet his eyes, so his eyes could not became dry. Okay, so to show false emotion is called to cry the crocodile tears. After that, add the fuel to the fire. It was your 19th of the idiom. Add fuel to the fire. Okay, so it means that you should increase the war situation, problem increasing the problem. Okay, so when it was also clear by the sentence that add fuel to the fire to enhance the fire, to um, make the fire larger. Okay, so to increase the problem is its actual meaning. Okay, after that, another was across the board. Across the board mean rule is implemented for everyone. These are the simple idioms, but I have another idiom, with a pinch of salt. This means that when there was it has a history that when there was an old lady, she make a cure for a poison, and she said when you are take, if anyone had taken the poison, he will take this medicine of mine, but this medicine is made up of many of weeds, and so you should not take it directly, you should take it with a pinch of this salt I am giving to you. And after the research, it was discovered that the pinch of salt was only the cure of the poison, and not of the whole herb that they was taken, the smelly herb they were taken was not the cure, the only the salt given to them was the cure. So it was also having simple meaning. So pinch of the salt means that not to believe something totally, okay, not to believe something completely, not to believe something completely. Okay, these are the 20 idioms. You should have to like, share and subscribe, because I had done not too much, I have faced too much hardship for this video, and you should have to give us reward for this. Okay, now like, share and subscribe these videos, or almost you should have to subscribe, because that was for new videos you should have to subscribe. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and recommend us for more videos. Goodbye, take care. Goodbye, take care.